My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Beverly Hills Cop 3. And look, I don't love the first movie as much as everyone else does. I thought it was perfectly fine with an entertaining performance by Eddie Murphy, but it's not one I ever think I'll revisit. The second movie I liked much better. Looking back on it, I think I was maybe a bit too nice on it and I would lower my rating to a 6 or 6.5, but Eddie Murphy is still hilarious in that movie and it's pretty entertaining for the most part. But this third one is just easily the worst of the bunch. My only positive I have for it is that the setting of an amusement park is very entertaining. I always like it when movies take interesting locations and make them a priority, whether it's a cruise ship, an amusement park, a airplane, something along those lines. So this movie does it with an obvious Disneyland ripoff, I think. I'm not sure if this place is real, but it definitely gave me Disneyland ripoff feels. And there's actually one scene where you see the inside of a ride, and I'm just like, oh, that's Universal Studio Tours. I've been on that. So I found that interesting, but that's where my positives end. Not even Eddie Murphy is all that good in this movie. Now, apparently, looking into it, he was really bummed out when this movie was getting shot, and he decided to hold back on the comedy, and you can just kind of tell that he's not as into this movie as he was with the others. He has a few moments where he comes alive, but for the most part, I found him to be kind of boring here. You've got Judge Reinhold, who is still fine, I guess. Hector Elizondo replaces John Hashton here as a different character, but he does a fine enough job. Bronson Pinchot, I found to be very annoying as Soja. I didn't like this character at all. And there's one person I saw, and I'm just like, is that George Lucas? And yeah, George Lucas shows up for like 2 seconds. I just thought that was funny. But look, the biggest issue of this movie is that the story is just a giant, boring mess. It is so repetitive. This entire movie is Eddie Murphy going to this amusement park to investigate, and then he gets a bit too close, he gets caught, the cops get involved, and they're like, Axel Foley, you stay away. And Axel's like, okay, I'll stay away. And then 5 minutes later, he goes back to the amusement park and he does the exact same thing. He gets caught again. He says he wants to go back again. And then 5 minutes later, he goes back, rinse and repeat the entire movie. That is literally it. And it's just so obviously repetitive and it drove me nuts and it's just very boring. And on top of that, this movie has an emotional foundation that the one police chief, I think, was killed, and it just has zero emotional weight for me to actually get invested in anything going on. And then there's also this romance that doesn't work, and also this movie just isn't funny. I didn't laugh a single time. It's lacking in any bit of energy. John Landis directs this movie, and it's just lacking in style, personality, just anything. You can just tell that they didn't have a real movie here. They just wanted to rely on Eddie Murphy again, and he just wasn't into it this time, and I totally get it. So as a result, we just get this movie that falls flat. And like, even the technical aspects are really bad. Like, in the beginning of this movie, I feel like the actors' mics were on low because I could barely hear them. My TV's volume was just fine because when they fire a gun, it sounded normal, but the actors were really quiet. And also, the green screen is quite bad in this movie. There was a scene where he's trying to save these two kids on this amusement park ride, but like, he keeps jumping from one car to the next, and then he eventually goes to the middle and then climbs to that car, and I'm just like, why didn't you do that to begin with? It just made zero sense, and yeah, so I didn't really have much else to say here. This isn't my favorite franchise. The second movie is entertaining, it's funny, but 1 and 3 I'll never revisit again, and this movie especially is really bad. It's boring, it's not funny, the story is a mess. I like the amusement park settings though, and more movies should be set in amusement parks, but that's as positive as I can get. So I'm going to go ahead and give Beverly Hills Cop 3 a 3 out of 10, fittingly. Okay, have you seen Beverly Hills Cop 3? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin, out.